His neighbors complained about the smell. He told them it was his fish tank. They believed him. For 4 years, Jeffrey Dahmer lived in apartment 213 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and in that time, 12 people entered that apartment and never came out. What makes this case unlike almost any other in criminal history is not just what he did, it's how many times the police had the chance to stop him and did not. This is the story of the most overlooked serial killer in American history and the psychology that made him invisible. Who was Jeffrey Dahmer? Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. By all accounts, his early childhood was normal, but psychologists who later studied his case found something significant around age 10. After a routine surgery, something in Dahmer changed. He became withdrawn, detached, obsessed with dead animals, collecting their bones, dissolving their flesh in acid to see what was left underneath. His parents were going through a painful divorce. Nobody noticed what was happening inside their son. By the time Dahmer was 18, he had committed his first murder, a hitchhiker named Steve Hicks. He hid the body, crushed the bones, and scattered them in the woods behind his family home. Then, nothing. For 9 years, Dahmer lived a seemingly ordinary life. He joined the army, he worked at the chocolate factory, he was quiet, polite, and kept to himself. And then, in 1987, the killing started again. This time, they wouldn't stop. Apartment 213 at the Oxford Apartments in Milwaukee became Dahmer's killing ground from 1988 to 1991. He had a specific method. He would meet men at gay bars or shopping malls, offer them money to come back to his apartment for a photo shoot or a drink. Once inside, he would drug their drink and they would never leave. What is almost impossible to comprehend is how many warning signs were ignored. Neighbors complained repeatedly about the smell, a thick, rotting odor coming from apartment 213. Dahmer always had an explanation: bad meat, a broken freezer, a fish tank. In May 1991, just 2 months before his arrest, a 14-year-old boy was found on the street outside the building, confused and barely conscious. Neighbors called police. 2 officers arrived. Dahmer came outside, calm and polite. He told the officers the boy was his adult boyfriend and they had just a fight. He showed them fake ID. The officers believed him. They walked the boy back into apartment 213 and left. That boy never came out alive. This is the moment that haunts the Dahmer case. Not just the evil of one man, but the catastrophic failure of the system around him. On July 22, 1991, Tracy Edwards managed to escape. He had been inside apartment 2013 for several hours. Dahmer had drugged his drink, but the drug had not fully taken effect. When Dahmer was distracted, Edwards ran out of the apartment and flagged down a police car on the street. When officers entered apartment 2013, what they found was beyond anything they had trained for. Polaroid photographs, women remain in the refrigerator, a barrel containing dissolved bodies, skulls arranged on a shelf. Dahmer didn't run, he did not deny anything. He sat down calmly and said, I was a completely normal person. Psychologists who interviewed him later found something deeply unsettling. Dahmer genuinely could not understand why people were horrified. He described his victims the way most people describe objects. The diagnosis: borderline personality disorder, schizotypical personality disorder, and psychopathy. A combination that produced a man who felt genuine loneliness and yet was completely unable to form human connections in any normal way. He had killed 17 people. He was sentenced to 16 consecutive life terms. In 1994, he was beaten to death in prison by a fellow inmate. What the Dahmer case teaches us is something deeply uncomfortable. Evil doesn't always look like evil. It looks like a quiet neighbor. It smells like a broken fish tank. It sounds like a polite explanation to a police officer. Psychologists call this the mask of sanity. The ability of certain personality types to appear completely normal while hiding something the rest of us cannot comprehend. Dahmer was not a monster in the way movies show monsters. He was something more frightening. A person who looked exactly like everyone else. The FBI's behavioral analysis of Dahmer later became one of the most historic cases in criminal psychology, because he was proof that the most dangerous people are not the ones who seem dangerous. They are the ones who seem like your neighbor. If this kind of deep dive into criminal psychology interests you, my last video broke down how FBI profilers caught Ted Bundy using nothing but behavior pattern. Link is on screen now. Subscribe to Motive Unknown, new case every week.